Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Wahid. Thank you very much for the invitation and your kind words. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for their attendance, but particularly Julian, Simon and others who aren't from the Pakistani community but have come here today to celebrate Pakistan Independence Day, as well as Eid alongside us. I think it's important that the leadership of the Council is with us on these important dates, and it's been a tradition that's been here for many years before I joined the Council. I remember John Wilson being here, Paul Scriven since, and obviously Julie today, and I hope that continues. Simon, you spoke about earlier about whether Sheffield was lucky or not. I don't know whether it's lucky, but I know we're lucky to have good relationships, whether it's with the local authority, the Council, whether it's with its voluntary sector, the BME community, the Pakistan Muslim Centre, Sadaka, etc. But I think the fact that we do have a really constructive and sometimes critical, and I call it critical as a critical friend, relationship with the police. You know, the fact that you're here tonight celebrating two important events for a large section of Sheffield's community is testament to why maybe things didn't go terribly wrong in Sheffield like they did elsewhere, because you know that you can turn to a group of friends at very short notice, and I know Inspector Ian Ferguson did that, to share information, but also gain information, and I think you've got the trust and the ear of those people that came here at the Pakistan Muslim Centre at very short notice, particularly from the mosque communities, the chairs and the imams, and you were able to share some, sensitive information about what possibly could happen, but also gained invaluable information from the community, and it was a two-way process, and the text messaging and all of that. I think it worked. So if we are to kind of share good practice, I think we can start with yourselves and then obviously the local authority and its partners, because the local authority played its part. I know, and no doubt you know, that within full council you will always get a very robust debate between the leader of the council and the leader of opposition. That's happened well before me and Julie arrived, and it'll probably happen tomorrow. Yes. But what you need to know is often, behind the scenes, we have a very close relationship. And me and Julie was in contact via email at very unusual times, simply because we were watching the news. I was happened to be up, ready to close my fast, and getting worried by the minute, seeing what was happening on television, and pretty quickly I realised I think I need to contact the leader of the council to share information that my son had picked up from his friends on Facebook and various other social media, and we stayed in contact. And I remember, Julie, I think you rang me twice to share information, and obviously I appreciate that. So in a sense, yes, you'll always get a robust debate and arguments on radio and newspapers, but sometimes when it's in Sheffield's interest, you can rest assured that the politicians, not just the two leaders, but all 84 councils, will put their differences aside to actually look after Sheffield's well-being, and I think we did that in the run-up to the difficult times we had. In terms of the centre itself, this centre has always been the focal point for the community, and I accept, Simon, sometimes no centre, no community organisation can truly reflect and say I speak for each and every individual. But I know that whenever there's been a difficult time, this centre has always been here for large sections of the Pakistani community. You only have to look back at when the earthquake hit in 2005. This centre opened its doors, it was flooded. The chief executive at the time, Rashad Akbar, is here somewhere, I've seen him. The sheds outside were piled with food, with clothing in particular. But this last year, the centre was also important because, I think Shahid Ali is here, the food boxes that they actually were shipping off to Pakistan. So in a sense, this centre has always been here for crisis. But also it's a place where celebrations take place, be it Pakistan Day, be it Eid, be it individual weddings and functions, but also sometimes it comes together at difficult times. I remember after 7/7, this was the centre where Bob Kerslake and others came together, the police and the faith leaders, to actually talk about what happened, but also to assure the Muslim community, because we did have representation from the Bangladeshi, Yemeni and Somali community at the time, about how the reaction would be from this city. And I have to say, it was a positive reaction. People realised it was a group of individuals who had a very different interpretation of Islam to the vast majority of us, and the terrible acts that they committed were no way in our name. I'm quite, positively welcome the comments that Julie made about Pakistan Muslim Centre. Yes, there's tricky issues around leases, I don't want to criticise solicitors too much because they're sponsoring our event, but sometimes, you know, the legal side of it does get in the way of commitments. And I know that previously, myself and our colleagues were pretty much committed to trying to give PMC the leases. We did one lease. I wish we could have done the other lease much quicker. I'm glad to hear that you continue to do that work, but I think it's a journey that PMC started many years ago, and it's seeking independence. And ironic that it wants to stand on its two feet as an organisation. And yes, I think we should, as a local authority, allow it to do that, and maybe make some mistakes on that journey, but also to move forward. And all I will say to the board, and the chair and others, Ajay Rafiq's here, Mr Ali's here, Waheed's here, and there's many others, that you need to move forward and don't sit back once you've got this lease, because I think you've got other plans and visions, and I think what you need to do is now share that with the new leadership of the council, and I'm sure they'll be as positive as we were, and excited by you wanting to take this centre forward, because I know by having a very successful and functioning Pakistan Muslim Centre that will be one of the bricks in terms of building a successful Sheffield. So with that, thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to come and speak to you, and I hope to see you next year.